Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the Gamer Science 8712 YouTube channel. It's me, Gamer Science 8712, and today we are back with another video because we got 5 likes on the last episode. So we have a new one today. Today we're going to be talking about the 3rd and 4th dynasties of Egypt because last time we talked about the 1st and 2nd. And while the 3rd and 4th dynasties are a little more clear than last time, because last time we were talking about what's called the early era, while today we are talking about the Old Kingdom era. So we have the 3rd dynasty and the 4th dynasty available. The Old Kingdom begins with the 3rd dynasty and will reach its top point with the 4th dynasty. Now, the kings of the Old Kingdom were not actually considered for what they did during their reigns, but more for what pyramids they made for themselves to have as graves. Yeah, it seems pretty brutal, but it is true. The reason for this huge change is that the 3rd dynasty is a huge step in architecture, religion, arts, and technology, in really all aspects of Egyptian culture. The first king of the dynasty, Djoser, reigned over a very stable kingdom, which was evidenced by the extreme amount of power in his government, as well as building projects and military expansion during his reign. Added to that, he built the first pyramid, which, although not considered to be a true pyramid, still built the path for pharaohs down the line to continue making real pyramids. His vizier, Imhotep, was the true visionary behind the pyramids. Imhotep came up with a very large design, which is very different from the designs of previous kings. And because of this, the builders decided to use stone instead of mud-baked bricks, which was a huge decision that would change everything for early Egyptian architecture. Sekhmet came after him, as well as Sennacht, Kaaba, and Huni. The sad thing about those is they pretty much copycatted Djoser and tried to hold on for the kind of better age that Djoser had brought into the nation. Now, the 4th dynasty was a lot less boring than the 3rd. It's actually the first dynasty that we actually have year points for, which is pretty exciting. So we know exactly when they reigned and when they died. So that is pretty cool. Sneferu was the first king of the 4th dynasty, and he started building the real pyramids. His building projects were financed by his strong central government that he created, as well as his military campaigns. His Red Pyramid was considered the first pyramid to be a real pyramid. After him came Khufu, who was considered the greatest king of the 4th dynasty because he brought with him a huge golden age for the country. He made Egypt super rich with military campaigns and trade deals. He had a nice central government that he only put his family in front of, and he reigned for a good 32 years. He did not waste those 32 years. He also built the actual Great Pyramid of Giza, and that was his grave. He built that. That was him. So if you didn't know who made the Great Pyramid, it was him. It was Khufu, 4th dynasty king. During his reign, he also spent a lot of money on agricultural advancements for his people, since 90% of the people in Egypt were working as farmers still at this point, and they would continue to for thousands more years. The people liked him so much that they did not care about the whole thing about only letting his family members in government. Now, the next king was Djefre. And while Djefre was a son of Khufu, he was not the intended heir of the throne. He usurped from his brother Khafre. Now, Djefre, after being a usurper, pretty much ruined the chances of the 4th dynasty as well as the rest of the Old Kingdom. The reason for that is a huge change in religion that happened. Previously, the kings of Egypt would be considered the living embodiment of Egyptian gods on earth. But Djeffre adopted the title of Son of Ra, becoming the son, or more of a subordinate to the sun god, Ra. By doing this, the power of the central government started leaking out, and it would continue for the rest of the Old Kingdom. It would start leaking into the priests of the gods. After this 8-year period of Djeffre's rule, Khafre came along, and Khafre was the builder of the Sphinx, as you can see in the picture there. And one interesting thing about Khafre is he continued Khufu's policies, but the later Greeks, for instance Herodotus, hated him very much. Now, this may be actually where the popular belief that Hebrew slaves built the pyramids come from, despite the fact that that is untrue. In fact, Egyptians who were paid well for their time built the pyramids. And added to that, those Egyptians were numbered so great due to the fact that the Nile floods and essentially idles all the people for about 3 months that would be doing farming professions to come over and help, because they thought they were doing a service to their gods. So it was unlikely that they would even need slaves. It is probably true that slaves worked in the mines for the stone that was needed to build these pyramids, but very unlikely that they actually played a part in the building of the pyramids. After Khafre came Menkaure, who had a decent reign of 29 years, but he was still, in those 29 years, unable to create a pyramid. The reason being, all the resources and money that were gained like 2 generations ago by Menkaure's grandfather Khufu were already drying up. His failed pyramid led to Shepscaf rolling over for a 5-year period, but after Shepscaf, the dynasty was over, with a ton less promise than where it started with. It was also broke. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment what I should do next. And if we get 6 likes, guess what? I'm going to do part 3. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.